Thank you. The chair recognizes Ms. Boebert for her 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, it's interesting hearing the rhetoric from the other side of the aisle. I used to say we don't differ in our hearts. We differ in data. No one wants to see children injured or even lose their lives. However, especially since serving in Congress, I've seen that Democrats do differ in their hearts because they're doing nothing to save lives in the womb. We had a Born Alive Act where one Democrat voted in favor of a full-term baby who is being aborted and survived that abortion, would be born alive, and then issued medical care to save that child's life. So we do differ in our hearts. I have not seen my Democrat colleagues defend innocent life, but they want to use these talking points of children in tragic, horrible scenarios as a political pawn to regulate law-abiding citizens. Now, for far too long, rogue politicians and partisans at the ATF have really run amok, infringing and trampling on the Second Amendment, the rights of the American people. This shall not be infringed, period. There's no comma after shall not be infringed. And it's trampled on by the federal government, by the states and local governments on a regular basis to disarm Americans, to make them subjects rather than citizens. And I stand by the statements that I made because this is to protect the people from a tyrannical government, and it's for self-preservation. This is to defend yourself, your life, which is so valuable. But anyone remember, since we are talking about the ATF, and Mr. Chairman, I actually second Mr. Gates's comments. I would love to have the ATF in here so we can actually question them on this rule. But do any of you remember Project Gunrunner and Operation Fast and Furious? Yeah, the fact that the ATF allowed 1,000, no, more than that, thousands of guns to end up in the hands of Mexican cartels and criminal organizations, and they lost thousands of these traced firearms. And then one of these guns was used to kill border agent Brian Terry, all through some brilliant government program. And it's absolutely outrageous. If you think the ATF is going to be successful in this, making millions of Americans felons through this rule that is an overreach of the separation of powers. You've heard it from the witnesses today who don't necessarily agree with my stance. Mr. Wilcox says that it's us that make the law. Congress makes the law, not bureaucrats. And they're seeking to make millions of Americans felons with this rule. Now, what happened with Fast and Furious, with these traced guns that they lost, thousands of them? The records in question, well, a judge found that they were not covered by privilege and that they were supposed to be released to the American people. Well, what happened to those records? That's right. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats ended the House lawsuit when they took control in 2019 and further buried this scandal. Absolutely shameful. As the National Shooting Sports Foundation has pointed out, in just the last 5 years, ATF, under political pressure, has at least on 3 occasions, through administrative fiat, changed long-standing positions to declare products lawfully sold in full view of the ATF and in reliance upon ATF classification letters to now be illegal and or regulated under the National Firearms Act. ATF bureaucrats are not only ignoring the direction of Congress, they are literally ignoring the law and trying to rewrite it themselves. A complete separation of powers. And I apologize, I did have some questions for the witnesses, and I do thank you all for being here and providing testimony, but hearing this on the other side and then just realizing that we differ in data as well as in our hearts because we do want to protect innocent lives. That is why we support the Second Amendment. It is your right to defend yourself, and we will always speak up to defend life. Thank you. I yield.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so every time I put out a video, you can know about it. It'll come up in your feed. Hit that like button if you liked it. And be positive. Peace.